as many things are today. So it's a lot of now you see it, now you don't. But when I was in the Tucson Gem Show this year, I was very blessed to go, and you'll see on my Instagram, I just recently posted just this picture of like beads wall to wall. And it was such a visual feast whenever you are lucky enough, if you ever can, go to the Tucson Gem Show. This is something that was very prominent there, tassels, gemstone tassels. Okay, we saw it in fabrics, we saw it in chains, we see it in gemstones. Amy Kahn Russell, who's an award-winning really an original designer. She has such a great flair, has brought to us the 2-tone multi-gem tassel earrings. Let me get to the which is which. Here we go. That is black spinel. So my very first item that I think I had in this out, or second, was a panda bear who had a lot of black spinel on him. And if you're looking for more black spinel to go back, if you're looking for a black gemstone that sparkles, very hard to find, but that's what black spinel specializes in. You've got it right here. This is drama. A beautiful way to wear a not too long tassel. Okay, then we move to our labradorite. This is what is reminiscent of the color that I call in the world of labradorite, a cashmere labradorite. It's not official, it's just something that some of us say in the gem world. It's a cashmere kind of look and feel, like this very beautiful gray blue. But then remember, labradorite has that property of a phenomenon that will allow you to see flashes of different colors and light because of its labradorescence. So that's labradorite with its just dripping in labradorite. And if you have any platinum pearl jewelry, I think you'll really love wearing your labradorite. I see it flashing blue from back here. Then speaking of pearls, we move into this very vintage, very pretty white pearl combo. And that is an amethyst in the top there in the button of the earring, the post part, that is amethyst. So you'll notice also the two-tone part of this, I don't like the word distressed, but that's what it is. It is an oxidized kind of look and feel, like antiqued. And then, not least, we have aquamarine. When you get these at home, if they are a little bit askew like this, because they are basically on it, you know, they're a tassel. This happens in fabric tassels too. Just keep working with it, and it will cascade really nicely. They think this has probably been in our vault, and it had a little bit of a, you know, got probably crunched in with some other ones. But see, that's how they're going to be. On the other hand, if you wanted to, you can just sort of let them go free and kind of let it be that kind of unstructured look that so many people are trying to pull off when they're doing their hair. And it looks just like they were at the beach, but not always in a good way. Anyway, that's another conversation. We move to your Amy Kahn Russell original genuine gemstone tassel earrings. This is couture that is wearable. This is the tassel cascade waterfall effect right by your face that is on an intense sale of $110 off. Genuine aquamarine, genuine pearls, genuine labradorite, genuine black spinel. I kind of want to, let's do this. I want to pull a color swatch. So there's the black spinel. And I think that really highlights the sparkle of the black spinel really nicely. That is $59, believe it or not, with the sterling silver, with the two-tone, and then, meaning that you'll see the yellow in the cap there. Then we move to the pearls. Look at that. Here is your aqua. These are lovely. If you know, seed pearls, which are the size of these pearls, are extremely expensive because most pearl farmers do not want to pull them out of the water at that stage because the potential for them to become bigger and more expensive is huge. So they are usually hesitant to pull out an oyster from their pearl farm early and have the seed pearl revealed. But there's such a beautiful Victorian kind of look and feel to them. And that is also $110 off. We move to those aquas I was just talking about. Lovely, lovely way to go for a drape in an earring, a longer earring. And then we also have, last, as I said, not least, labradorite. So however you want to work this out, it's more, black spinel, very popular and most limited now. a new way to wear your pearls, a very glamorous way to wear your pearls. Your labradorite, that gemstone that is so hard to find in a multiple set of styles. You'll see it as a cabochon, you'll see it as a strand. You put this with a strand you might be lucky enough to have, like my host pick we just did on June 17th. That would be gorgeous together, and then our aqua. Okay, so when these are gone, I will let you know black spinel is gonna go first and followed by the labradorite. Okay, then they're all gone. Tamara's in the spotlight telling you about how